Hey, it's MK, and today I am scrapping on a ship, and I was inspired by Corinne Doloff and this amazing layout that she did where everything was central with a really cool mixed media background. So I'm going to do 3 photos, which I know these 2 photos here are identical. One is just a close-up, and the other one is a full body, I guess, or a farther away perspective. But I do want to keep both photos because I like the idea that I had in my brain. So I've got a bunch of blue elements from the 49 and Market Sunburst collection. Some of it was from the chipboard set. Some of it was from the page kit. Some of it was from the laser pieces. I mean, just all over the place. So this little splash word here, I still have to poke out the words, but it is from the page kit. I've got this bunched up netting that I'm not really sure if I'm going to use yet or not. That is also from the page kit. The porthole that is down, I'm still showing you guys the netting, but I got distracted by some negative pieces. This porthole here is from the laser cut pieces. And then from the Beached collection, I have this rub-on sheet that I want to use. And this is one of the pre-designed layouts from the Beached collection. And as you can see, I don't have anything that this layout asked for. I just don't. I want to use the background. So I'm going to use this porthole around my photo, and I'm keeping the adhesive really tight within my ring because I wasn't really sure how far off the edge the photo was going to be or not. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off as much as I can so that way the picture is not visible outside of the porthole, and that is where I want to leave it. So I very rarely cut my photos into shapes. I will put them in a frame such as this and then trim around them, but I don't really see it as I cut it into a shape, which is weird. My brain doesn't work that way, but surprise, it's technically is cut into a shape. So I'm going to go through this rub-on, and I'm going to create my mixed media background using rub-ons. This is one of my favorite type of mixed media backgrounds. It really, really is. I love doing this. It is so less mixed media. It's so clean. You don't have to clean up a mess. And I seem to only do really well with this type of mixed media using 49 and Market rub-ons because their rub-ons almost are made for this type of mixed media. So anyways, I'm going to cut out all of the netting and all of these splashy blue dots, as well as bring in some of those, or all of those, fern leaves, I think is what they're called. So I'm going to go ahead and put my netting around, and I am going to cut around the pieces that I feel like are just going to get put behind the photo and not waste any of that netting. So when it comes to the round part of the porthole, I wasn't too sure if I was going to cut it in a circular motion or not. And so, yes, I decided not to, and I went ahead and just did a diagonal because it's going to get lost up in the foliage. So I did decide to leave or cover up the pink part of the greenery that is printed on the page, but you'll get to see some of it peeking out, and by the end it's not a whole lot, which is weird because I said the same thing about all of the stuff that they added to this page. All you see is the peeking out little bits, and I thought, no, my picture is going to show more than that. My page is going to show more than that. And then I even ended up covering up the pre-made title on this whole paper. So I just thought it was weird because that wasn't the direction I was going when I first looked at this paper and thought about using this paper. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more of these leaves swooshing around, just trying to build up my 2 panels per se for my mixed media. Now I'm not going to use any pattern paper except for this blue foundation paper that was left over from a couple days ago's layout that I did. And so I'm just going to use that. I'm not even going to map my photos. I'm going to let all of the mixed media do all the work because I did not want A, to shrink my photos, and B, to make the background any less than I already had to work with, if that makes any sense. So because my photos were so large, I already had a limited space for the background and for what I wanted to poke out for my mixed media. Now, I do have to say that this paper was textured, and so I had to rub really, really hard to get this mixed media to lay down. I don't know why, because normally with 49 & Market's mixed media, it's almost like a transparent sticker. So as soon as you stick it down, that, it's pretty much going to stay there. But this was not the case for this paper. And I don't know if it's because I'm rubbing rub-on on top of a rub-on, but I even had troubles rubbing on the net, which was the first rub-on that I put down. So I'm not really sure if it was just the coating or the slight texture of the paper that made it a little bit more difficult for the rub-on to actually lay down. Now here is where I wanted to put that netting, was down below behind the splash, and then I thought, oh, nope, not enough room, which I kind of already knew that, but I thought it would look kind of cool if it was behind, but it's almost like putting black on top of black, and so the netting would have been just a waste. You would not have seen it. I did debate on whether or not I was going to keep these inner bits of letters, and then I realized none of them were connected, and it would have just been too much of a hassle had I have tried to find out which little dash went in between the H, which one was for the L, blah, 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 blah. Nope, I'm not going to keep it. I can't do it. It's just too stressful. So I went ahead and threw all those little pieces away, and I backed them all with foam dots from Stampin' Up, which I will leave a link down below, because they're actually called dimensionals, and they are my favorite. They are my favorite to use. Unless I need a big piece like what I'm using behind my photo now, then I reach for Fun Foam that is from just Walmart or other big box stores, right? You get them in huge packages. I got this one actually from a subscriber, and I was very thankful because I run out, and then I rely on my dimensionals a lot before I remember that I need to order more. And my local Walmart is not as close as I would like, as I wish it was. And so I'm very lazy when it comes to having to order things from Walmart and sit in their parking lot and wait for it to be brought out to me. I know that's horrible to say, but I have to say that I honestly don't even like driving that far to go get it. And so I mentioned it one time on a video that I have got to drive into Elko and get more. And lo and behold, it was on my doorstep the next morning. And I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe you guys. You're crazy. And I thank you all so much for that. I really, really do. All right, so I had picked out all of this really cool stuff knowing that my pictures were going to take up a lot of this area. And I thought I had a lot more dead space to play with when it came to having all of these little elements. And then I quickly realized I don't have as much dead space as I thought I did. I don't have enough room. I really like the tag and the little circle heart and the word smile, because together it says, love this smile. And I am just ear to ear grinning because I thought that these painted feathers were so cool on this building. It's actually right next to where we picked up our vest to go swim with the dolphins. And if you look at the top of the feathers, they're actually water splashes. And so that's where all the splashing and the splish splash and the water references come from, is because the wings are made out of the splashing of water. And so I thought it was really cool, and I really wanted to play off that. And I also really wanted to play off of the blue in the photos. So I tried to keep it monochromatic. However, I'm adding a lot of greenery to offset that and bring in some more colors and whatnot. So anywho, this is right after we got done swimming with dolphins, and I put my clothes on top of my wet swimsuit and, basically just hurry up, you guys, we're going to run out of time, and ran over there and started, taking pictures of Janet and Sandy and myself and just having a blast. And then we went 2 doors down to go have this amazing rum raisin ice cream. Oh my god, it was so yummy. Oh, just buy me a whole bucket and hope it doesn't melt. I swear it was so yummy. And then we saw some more wings, actually 2 more, and I think they were neon wings, so they were super cool. That's another layout though, because they're super cool. Unfortunately, they're pink, so I might have to figure out what to do there, but so cool. All right, so I am still trying to figure out, and I can't, I'm obsessing with the word splash. I should just put it down and be done with it. But I do keep going back and trying to get it to line up straight. I don't know why. And then I realized that I could use this pre-printed little border that is on top of the layout and put a little cluster up there. So I could still say, love this splish splash memories, which actually leads into swimming with dolphins. So it's not quite like where, even though this happened after, in my album, I have it happening before. And so I thought that was absolutely perfect. And the last thing I'm going to do to add to my faux mixed media background are these blue splashes or splatters from the Beached collection rub-ons. And so I thought that they added a lot of splash, and they fill in a little bit of gaps without actually filling it in, you know, completely. Like it leaves enough, but it's the perfect amount of blue added to the rest of the layout in between all this green. I also like the fact that most of my greenery is rub-ons, so I can add the rub-ons super easy, save for the one that is up on top above the butterfly and leading into my small little cluster up at the top. Now, the faux string that hangs down on the little tag does hang up a bit farther out of the album than I would like it to, but I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to see if it's okay to stay out there or not, and then I thought to myself that if it doesn't, then what I can do is cut it off, poke a hole, and put my own twine in it, and then have it hang down. So not a big deal. If it really does end up bothering me, it really isn't a big deal to fix it and correct it. So after I'm done with the rub-ons, like I said, really hard time trying to get them to lay down. I don't know, again, if it was the texture of the paper, which it was really very subtle texture, very subtle. Or if it was the fact that I was doing a rub-on on top of a rub-on. All right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. I had so much fun. I honestly can't wait until I can get to tell you guys about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It was just crazy town. But unfortunately, it's just a story. I don't really have pictures of it, but it was just our journey getting to and from the port as well as to the dolphin swim. So crazy ride, absolutely crazy. But here in the close-ups, you can see where the wings tip off into splashes, which I absolutely loved, and I just love the playfulness of this layout. Karen, thank you so much for your inspiration. I really, really did enjoy it. Don't forget to check out all of the links that I have down below. For May I Scraplift You, I have a playlist. And then, of course, as always, I link Janet's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations, here on YouTube, because all month long she is scrapping on a ship with me. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.